As an audiologist at Bluegrass Hearing Clinic, I often get asked, does hearing loss affect my balance? And what I would say is there's a couple of situations where your hearing and your balance can be affected. They're both housed in the same part of your ear, but they're actually very separate processes. So one's your hearing, and the balance actually affects more your eyes. So what can happen is if you have an inflammation in the nerve or an infection, you can have what's called vestibular neuritis, and that will cause a sudden loss of hearing and sudden vertigo. Just the room spins, you're nauseous, you're dizzy, you're miserable, and what's happened is that nerve's been cut off to that ear, and you've lost both your hearing and your sense of balance. Now, sometimes that can come back if you go to the ER or an ear, nose, and throat doctor right away and get steroids. That's something that you want to do right away. So that is a situation where hearing and balance can be affected by inflammation and an infection. So vestibular neuritis. Another cause that affects both your hearing and your balance would be Meniere's. It's very rare, it's not very common, but what happens is you'll have these episodes of ringing and sudden decrease in hearing and dizziness, and they'll come and they'll go. It is often just one side that will be affected, and we think it's an autoimmune condition. And sometimes you can alleviate symptoms by going on a low-salt diet. But that's another case where it's your hearing and your balance and even the ringing all kind of working together in a not pleasant way. But actually, very few things involving your hearing and your balance go together. They're right next to each other, but they don't actually share the same space. It's like I think of it as like being in an apartment where you've got a suite. You might share the kitchen, but you have your own bedrooms. Your ears kind of like that, where they share the same space, but they actually do very different things. There are a couple of things where you'll have your hearing and your balance affected at the same time.
Ask an Audiologist is brought to you by Bluegrass Hearing.